one day we'll all burn out if we
Yes.
go at this
Yes.
rate, right?
Yes.
So we have to kind of know where to draw the line and where to have that balance.
I used to feel guilty for taking vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
And only this June we went to Kerala. It was my first vacation where I did not take my laptop.
Yeah.
It was a 10-day vacation and I felt proud of myself. I was
Yeah.
telling everyone.
Wow,
did
I made it.
I did not take my
That did
vacation.
it. And did anything happen? Did anything fall?
Everything
Nothing
went
was
smooth.
exactly.
Amazing. I used to get scared to tell my clients that I'm going on vacation. Why was I this way? I don't know. But this time I told my clients, actually I'll be on a break. And
Okay.
nobody reacted. They're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
They consider me human.
They're like, okay, that's all.
That's all.
Coming to that as well, the family side of things. How are you now? You've said like you have that. It is equally important to you. Now, how do you manage to find the time? What's your secret sauce?
There is no. I wish there was a secret sauce.
I would take the recipe.
I would take the recipe of it.
Like, come.
Exactly. There is no secret sauce. It's a lot of trial and error.
Yes.
You're a mother yourself, Bilna.
Yes.
It's a lot of trial and error. Okay, what if I, instead of, having this meeting for 1 hour, what if I just cut it down to 40 minutes?
Oh,
That
nice.
extra 20 minutes I can spend with my child.
Nice,
And at the end of the day, I make a very conscious effort to not ignore my family and only consider. Yes, there's long hours, it's stressful and everything, but if I have to pick up my daughter from school, I'll make sure I leave the office and I go and pick her up, because I know at the end of the day the world is not going to come crashing down. We think it is. It's
Yes.
not. It's not. Life will go on, things will
Yes.
move on, and I have now, after a period of time, I've set my priorities right, Bilna.
Nice.
Like what's important to me is important. I have to take time out for my family because that gives me happiness.
Very
And if I'm
true.
not happy, I
From
cannot bring that
inside.
happiness to work.
Yes.
I'll get everybody frustrated if I'm
Yes.
not happy. So spending time with my daughter, with my husband, meeting my friends, I have a very close knit of friends, gives me happiness. And that's
Very
very
true.
important for me to kind of put that into my business. Because
Yes.
people feel the vibe. When you are
Yes.
happy, they feel it. Your clients feel it, your employees feel it, your
Yes.
suppliers feel it. So I think you have to have a very cool head. You cannot get everything. You have to sometimes you take things with a pinch of salt.
Yes.
And take life as it comes.
Yes.
Do your best, and then the rest you have to leave it to your team to manage. So that's how I manage it. Like I've set my priorities right, because if I want, I can spend 24 hours a day on my business.
Yes.
Right? It's not going to serve any
Yes,
purpose. I'm
yes.
going to impact my mental health, my physical health, everything.
And then nothing is there.
Nothing is
left.
going to
Yes.
happen. So
Yes.
I've learned that now, that this is how I have to
Yes.
because there's more to life than just work. There's more to life, right?
Very true.
So yeah, that's
What
my-
about you?
Oh my god, what about me? So, see, daughter design is just a 2-year-old baby.
Yes.
And its growth actually is overwhelming.
Yes.
First, I think 1.5 years was only work. High, like right from being a freelancer to
Yes.
getting the trade license. The journey has been amazing, and then hiring new team. Some of them were not vibing with us, so then managing to get that ideal team.
Yes.
And then these projects, these verticals that we never thought of. Like we thought we will be only consultants for residential, but then we started growing in healthcare, in retail, in offices. And this growth was overwhelming, and
Yes.
we are really happy with it. But I believe every new business owner goes through this,
Yes.
that my family life was completely sidetracked. My parents understood it. My sister, who loves me so much, who craves for spending time with me back in India, she understood it. My husband has been a great support. He himself is a businessman. He has multiple businesses, so he understands it. He sees me going crazy, cranky one day. Suddenly, like I decide this Saturday we have to work. I am going to ask my team members we have to work, and he's like, no. Saturday, Sunday is off.
Yes.
Everyone deserves their off.
Absolutely.
World can wait. You should be able to say no to your client.
clients.
Learn to say no.
Yes.
I was like, no, I cannot say no. Because he's
Client
my,
is the god.
he's a big luxury retail owner. I cannot say no. He said, you can say no. Who told you you cannot say no? I started learning to say no probably past 6 months back. and really life has changed. It has
Nice.
become more calm. I will not say it's still like 100% I am like
I have it
mastered the
sorted.
work
Yeah,
life
no, not at all.
balance.
There are days
Like,
it goes off.
It goes off.
Yesterday, my husband's like, his birthday is on 1st of November. He's like, let's go for a vacation. And he said like, we can go Turkey, we can, because visa will be an issue. So places where there is no visa. Bhutan is a good option. I said, yeah, Bhutan, I need peace. Bhutan, we will go. And then I was like, last night only I told him, listen, from Monday I'm starting 5 new projects. The payments are like about to come now. So how
How is
like,
Bhutan
I'm, like,
happening?
trying to be cheeky. How do I manage? Can you guide me? How do I manage this
You became
5
that.
projects?
Okay, you're my mentor. Please guide me.
I tried to empower him cheekily, and he was like, maybe we should push
The Bhutan
the
ahead.
Bhutan a bit. Bhutan will happen. So that's the case now. Bhutan will happen. Turkey will happen. But in my
all
case,
seasons.
probably I have to really find that, balancing these things.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a challenge though.
No, the reality is this
you
fit out
want-
construction industry is a very ruthless industry. It's
Yes.
a very
It is.
time demanding industry.
You want to give your staff those extra days off. You want them to leave at 6 o'clock, and you want to go for those beautiful vacations. But
Yeah, there's
It's-
time becomes a luxury in this
Yes.
business,
Yes.
because it's very demanding. It's a lot of work. So I totally understand where you're coming from. There is no there's no secret sauce. We just have to find what
Fine.
works for us.
So if one season you go high, then you should take that time to
Yeah.
break it off.
And
then
at the
maybe
end of the day, because we are
sometime.
business owners, we have expenses. We can't not take up projects.
Yes.
Because obviously we have expenses to
Yes.
meet and all of that, right? So and more than that, it's our passion, it's our business, our
Yes.
bread and butter.
Yes.
We have to run the business. So, but it's just it's a very demanding industry, and you're from this industry as
Yes.
well. Bilna.
I have
You know
seen
the
the same.
challenges,
Yes.
the ups and downs that happen. But I think at the end of the day, if you see the most seasoned businessmen, they are very calm.
Yes.
They know the balance.
Yes.
They're just not all work.
Yes.
They know, okay, where you have to draw a line. So I think over a period of time, we
will
all
all
it will
learn
come.
on the
because it
go.
will burn out. One day
Yes.
we'll all burn out if we
Yes.
go at this
Yes.
rate, right?
Yes.
So we have to kind of know where to draw the line and where to have that balance. Yeah,
Yes.
I used to feel guilty for taking vacation.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
Yes.
only I think this June we went to Kerala. It was my first vacation where I did not take my laptop.
Yeah.
It was a 10-day vacation, and I felt proud of myself. I was
Yeah.
telling everyone,
Wow,
did
I
not-
made it.
I did not take my
That did
vacation
it.
laptop, and
And did anything happen? Did anything fall?
everything
Nothing
went
was
smooth.
exactly on that point.
Amazing. My
I've
team
learnt
used to
it.
just update me on our group chat what
Right.
they are working on. Clients, I used to get scared to tell my clients that I'm going on vacation.
I know.
Why was I this way? I don't know. But this time I told my clients, actually, I'll be on a break.
Okay.
And nobody reacted. They're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
They consider me human.
They're like, okay, that's all.
That's all.
So they just asked me, so who will be point of contact? I said my team members are there. They're all
Okay.
on, every project has its own WhatsApp group.
Yes.
So the client are there. And everything went smooth. All this burning of blood was for nothing.
I think it's that perspective we have. We feel that,
Yeah.
oh my God, if I move away, it's all going to fall
Fall-
down. But
no.
it's not
Yeah.
going
It's
to.
not going to.
Even I took a recently 5 weeks break in Kerala. I was like so scared to travel 5 weeks,
Yeah.
Of course, I took my laptop, everything I
Yeah,
took.
yeah,
I did work few hours also, but I was so scared to leave Dubai for so long. It was
Yeah.
like, my God, what's going to happen? But that's a month we got the most number of inquiries, the most number of meetings I did online with the clients. So it was converting. Things were happening.
And then your team also steps up when they
Yes.
know
Yes.
that you're not around,
Yes.
right? They step up more because
Very
they
true.
feel accountable and they feel
Very
more
true.
responsible.
Very true.
So yeah, I think
I think it's all about that. Now, another part of it, right? Now, Dubai is booming, right? The real estate is booming, which means your industry, your interior fit out is also booming. There's a lot of things happening. So, you are foreseeing the business is going to come. Probably you have a pipeline of maybe you expect 10 projects to close, right? So, that means you have to hire or scale up in terms of your resources. But maybe when you hire, you can't get the team to work like that from day one, right? It takes a training period of probably 1 or 2 months for them to get into the groove of your company. So you have to anticipate and hire, which is also risky. how do you deal with that? Because I deal with that in my business, and it's been really scary, but I still am doing. So how are you guys dealing with such situations?
But typically, like for my one designer or architect, I don't give them more than 3 to 4 projects to handle.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, they're human beings.
Yes.
The more you give them, the more
They'll
the
break.
more prone to mistakes, right?
Yes.
So typically, I go with that ratio.
Nice.
And if I see my pipeline is building up and I see a lot more work coming in,
Yes.
then I will do the hiring.
Yes.
But I feel it is very there's a lot of intuition involved as
Yes.
well when you hire somebody. Also, it is a little bit of planning as well.
Yes.
So because we are a complete design and fit out firm, for us is one aspect is the designers and architects, but also we hire civil engineers, we hire
you need the
MEP
whole team
specialists,
to
we need
manage
the whole
a project.
team, right?
Yes.
So it's a basically there is no science or art to it. It's just when we feel depending on how things are building up. And as the projects are coming, there are also others that are ramping
Yes.
down.
Yes. Yes.
So there is that balance we have to find.
Yes.
And where I feel is a missing gap, we'll go and hire. Like there are
Yes.
2 roles that I'm actively recruiting for right now, and they're not designers or architects role. And because I know there's a burning need
Yes.
for that in our company, so we will hire based on that. Yeah, I think it's a lot of intuition and based on your previous experience.
Yes.
You kind of learn, okay, when is the right time to hire and who's the right person to hire.
That's another part.
Because I'm telling you, it's the people that makes your business succeed or fail.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's the people. It's really comes down to the kind of people you hire.
Yes.
So I do take my time before I'm
investing
before I
into
invest
them,
in
right?
them.
Yes.
They have to like us and we have to like them. And it has to be a 2-way relationship. It cannot be
Yes.
one way, right?
Yes,
And they have to love what they do. So we keep things very simple, very transparent right from day one. This is how it'll be. Are you okay? They have a lot of questions to ask. So I feel it's a lot of like intuition, but also it's a lot of like previous experience where we feel when we need to hire or we don't need to hire. But once we hire, we are 100% because we can't hire and then after 6 months let them go.
Yes. Yes.
So you have to be very sure that when you're hiring somebody, you need that much kind of the business or the pipeline building up, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you are responsible for people's livelihoods.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
their
You
families.
are responsible
You're
for
responsible
putting food on the table for them.
You're
right?
responsible. You are responsible to get the business, and hence you're responsible for their livelihoods because
Yes.
they're working for you.
Yes.
You can't hire them today and say after 6 months, sorry, I don't need you. It doesn't
Yes.
work like that.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a bit of planning and also it's a bit of our past
bit of
experience and then a
intuition.
bit of intuition that goes.
It's a
along.
combination of the three.
It's a combination of 3, and there's no fine line where it's just you kind of do what you feel is the best at that point in time.
Are you also in the same thing?
Absolutely. Like right now, I require a senior designer, interior designer, who can manage creating a concept by himself or herself, and who can do a bit of 3D work where required. The market is booming.
Yes.
So the salaries that they are demanding
Are high.
way too high. They're higher
Yes.
than my design estimate.
Yes.
But having said that, I also learned when I started to design, I hired a very senior CAD designer, draftsman, 15 years of experience. I
Nice.
thought amazing. If he's so senior, I don't have to worry about the CAD work. It was a mistake. I looked at his CV and I was happy. But as a person, as a personality, he did not vibe with me.
Okay.
If I
It's
am
not
not
just the
happy, how
experience
will
that
my
matters.
designs turn to be right? That made me understand that it's not the experience that is important. It's how this person will gel with your company, with your
Yes.
ideologies, and with the existing team. On the contrary, I got someone who was a junior designer who did not have much. I think he had 0 Dubai experience, but he has excelled so much. He
That's
is my go-to
nice.
person now. So whoever I hire now has like intuition. Yes. Correctly said. It is lot of whether
And
this
the
person will
vibe
vibe
with
with the whole team. That is
Yes.
important because
Values
they
of your
spend
company
so much
also,
time
right?
together, right?
Yes.
It's only the weekends that they don't see each other. So they
Yes.
should be able to gel with the existing members and they should vibe with the company ideologies. So
Yes.
I have now started like looking at personality when we are interviewing more than the experience and the high names of the companies they worked with.
Yes.
That is not the criteria anymore. But it is challenging actually. It's really You're good luck if you really find a good
the right person,
right time.
the right person. Now, one more thing, like you mentioned about your husband, he is also a business owner, right? How has it impacted your lives in the both pros and cons? Like probably he has a busy season, then after that you have a busy season. That could be a con side, and the pros could be that he can actually give you tips on how he runs his business, right? So how is that journey like?
So he is a Marwadi. Marwadi is a community who does business right from the day they're born. They only talk about business in their family. In fact, my mother-in-law also, her first question is, how's work? How's your business? Any new project side? Then she will talk about rest.
Nice.
So their perspective towards business
It's
is
a
very
business
different.
family.
Absolutely. Like he has never done a job.
He's
And
always been
versus
in
me,
business.
who in my family there was no one who has done business.
Okay.
We have always been job people who get fixed salary every month and we're happy with it. So he has been a great support. In terms of, there were seasons when I did not sign any project.
Okay.
At one point I had 11 inquiries. None of them converted, and it made me nervous because I can see this team.
Yes.
And that is the biggest expense. Their salaries have to go on time. Then there is this office, looks beautiful and fancy, but there is a rent to it. And I became paranoid, like what is happening, what are we doing wrong, should I reduce my design fee? And he was like, calm down, this is one of those days.
He's
Maybe-
used to seeing that,
and
right?
he
The
was
ups
like,
and
how
downs.
do you
in
expect
business.
every month to be the same? Then it made sense because it was the holiday season,
Yes,
August,
yes.
July, August.
Yes.
That's why I wasn't getting any sign up. And then come September,
Everybody started coming back.
so he has been my mentor, and
Nice.
we understand this.
You vibe
madness.
well again in that.
We both actually are, touch wood, we are not that lovey-dovey couple. Even on our dinner date, we discuss what is
Business.
happening, what should we do next, where I want a bigger office, how should we
Nice.
design
You discuss your dreams together.
yeah,
And that's-
so we understand each other's projects and his events. So his
Okay.
second half of the year is crazy busy,
Yes.
and mine entire year is busy. So
Okay. So
we just find
but
those.
it's that vibes that comes
Yes.
together. That
We try to find. We keep weekends to ourselves.
nice.
We ensure that at least 2 meals are had together.
Nice.
Could be
nice.
breakfast or dinner, lunch
Nice.
or dinner, and we just try. This is like a great partnership. He's the best
Nice.
partner I could have.
Nice. And in your case, your husband is in your business as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
So,
we are.
is it good or bad? Like, or how
I think in a way
things
it's
have-
good. I
Yes.
think because
he understands what's going on.
in a
right?
way I think it has more pros than cons.
Nice.
I'll talk about the cons first. Is that we don't know where to draw the line between professional and personal, right?
Yes.
Even in our personal space, we're only always talking about business,
Yes.
right? So it's that. But other than that, I see more pros. I know a lot of people say, how do you work with your husband? It's just like, doesn't it get too much for you? But we have very different roles.
Nice.
Like,
You have defined what
very
each of
defined
you are
roles.
doing.
So I am more with my design team. I spend
Nice.
a lot more time with my design team, and I'm responsible for basically generating business. For my company.
Yes.
And Gurmeet, my husband, he's more on the operations side of things.
Okay, nice.
So it's a very, very distinct role.
So you don't get into each other's
Yeah,
way.
sometimes we do, like when we have to meet, sometimes we have a lot of client meetings together.
Yes.
But on a day-to-day basis, it's very distinct roles.
Nice.
And so I see more pros because in this kind of business, just single brain is not going to work.
Yes.
You need
different
perspectives to
Yes.
come together to
Yes.
make this business work, right?
Nice.
So we have different personalities. I have different thought process. He has different thought process. So we come together. Obviously, there's a lot of disagreements and a lot of times, but as we both are business owners, we both are partners. So we come to a conclusion, and I think that's how we balance it out because we have very different roles and we're very accountable for what we do.
Nice.
Like he
That's
takes
nice.
complete responsibility about operations, and I make sure that the client that we are getting
Is the right
is
client.
the right client. We're going to be able to exceed and make this client happy,
Nice.
and our designs are going to be bespoke designs. So
Nice.
that's where I come in, and then he looks after the operation. So it's a good balance, I feel.
Yes.
Nice. Now we can come to the end of the conversation. So I would ask you the same question to both of you. Maybe one mistake that happened in your business probably, and how did you overcome that mistake or some challenge, and how did you overcome that, and what's your advice to any woman who wants to be in this industry, I mean to start a business in this industry?
So I feel one of the mistakes that we made was very early on when we started this project was every client when they engage with us, because we do design interiors and we do landscaping as well, right? So the client wanted a very luxurious looking landscape design, so we produced the design based on that.
Yes.
And then when we gave the quotation, he said, this is not my budget.
Okay.
It is, I like the design, but this is not my budget. And then it was a bit of a challenge to come to agreement. He said, well, you have given this design, now you have to do it.
Oh.
Because but he didn't want, because the budgets, that the design was a very expensive design.
Okay.
So that was a mistake, wherein we always have to have that clarity right from the time we start.
Yes.
So every aspect, because at the end of the day, money makes a very big difference.
Yes.
How much money you put into a space, the more luxurious it can get, right? So it's very, very important to understand from a client's perspective what are the budgets they're looking to spend, and how are we going to match their vision of a space with the actual execution. So we have taken that as a big lesson as a company, in that, because that was a very challenging thing for us to overcome with that client. But you learn from your mistakes.
Yes.
So we have this conversation very upfront with the client, that this is what you like and this is what's going to cost you. Are you okay with that? And they say, no, this is not okay with me. Then we work around with that. We have more discussions. We bounce ideas off. We come to to a basically a settlement. But that was something where I think the budgets have to play a very big role in how how you move forward. So we have that, and a lot of the clients, to be very honest, they come with their budgets nowadays. They say, I do not want to exceed this.
Yes.
So
then
that gives us a good,
very clear for you.
Yeah. So we're not going to produce a design that's going to cost them, 2 million or $1 million dirham to execute, for example, if that's not their budgets.
Yes.
At the same time, it's going to still look very stunning, right? So we have that very, very honest, upfront conversation, and the clients appreciate that. They trust me. Every person these days, they want their lives to be simple. As it is, a life is complicated.
Yes.
So the more simpler you can make it for them
Yes.
by having some upfront conversations, the more they appreciate it, and they
Nice.
like the transparency and honesty.
Nice.
So we balance our design and our execution based on the budget. So that has been a big learning for us personally in our business.
Nice. And any final advice to any women who want to be into this industry, who want to start something in this industry?
Yeah, I think absolutely do it. I think there's a lot of scope, and I think you just have to be very clear in what you want to do.
Yes.
There are so many different paths you can take in this design fit out industry.
Yes.
You can become just a solely design, you can do a design fit out, or you can just run a nice joinery company. It really depends on what you want to do.
Nice.
So I think you have to have that clarity. When you enter this business, you have to have a lot of clarity in terms of what business model you're going to adopt in this industry.
Yes.
And secondly, you have to be very, very resilient in this industry. You cannot take every comment that comes across your way too personally.
Yes.
True. Right? So you have to be very resilient. You have to have very ambitious, because some days are very tough in this industry, right?
Yes.
So you have to know how to deal with them. You have to be very mentally strong, because when you're building this, it's not just about you. Then you start hiring people and all of that. So I think that's one thing I'd say: have the clarity and have resilience and be consistent. I feel be consistent in your approach in what you're doing. Not like put in so much effort one day, next day like this is too difficult, I can't do it. You have to be very consistent and resilient. I think anybody who does that can succeed for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What about you, Sneha? Any challenges that you had and what you learned, and what is your advice?
As initial phase, I just to please the client.
Yes.
I was like, yes sir, kind of a personality. No was not a word I will ever use. I was like so scared. So there was a luxury villa project that came to us, and he was like, we want it urgently, like 15-20 days. 5-bedroom villa. Yes sir. Yeah. In my head I'm like, because he wants it and I have to do it. It burned us completely back in office. The pressure itself, that the team has to come up with a concept, do full 3D design, material board, spec sheet, shop drawing package. They burned, I burned, and the design was not even good because we were not happy because it was just something we put up.
Okay.
Fine, then there were changes because the client was not really happy with the nooks
You
and
yourself
corners. There
were
were
not
no
happy.
details. I was not happy. I learned, no, you have to be realistic.
Yes.
Doesn't matter how luxury the brand is, you have to be realistic.
Give
Optimism is good in life,
transparency.
but not in design industry.
Yes.
Your timeline should be practical.
Yes.
You should
Yes.
be telling that to the client upfront without fear. They will not get offended. In fact, they will like your
They'll appreciate honesty.
transparency.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So that I learned. Yes, and that I do now. We don't burn out.
Nice. And what's your advice to women who wants to be starting a business in this industry?
My advice, because this worked for me, is to be in a good network of
Nice.
business owners. Could be any institute. For me, BNI worked.
Nice.
It was the very first thing I did when I decided to start to design interiors.
Nice.
Being an introvert person, I did not know how to go and get sales. Like, how do I pitch? So I just blindly joined BNI.
Nice.
Rising Phoenix was my chapter, and I met good set of mentors.
Nice.
They are also important for any new business owner, male, female. You should have these two things. You should have a strong network institute where there is serious network business happening,
Yes.
no hanky-panky
Yes, yes,
champagnes
yes.
and all that.
Yes.
Something serious, and good set of mentors, guides who can tell you that it's okay to make mistakes.
Yes.
Just what you said, exactly all those things. It's okay to have low days, and it's okay that you will not have best reviews from every client.
Yes.
Some clients will say this is shitty design, bad design, and that does not make you a
Don't
bad
take it
designer.
personal,
Yeah,
right?
don't
So
take it
don't
personally.
take it personally. Do it. This is an amazing industry. It feels so good to see your project finally come,
live.
and that smile on your client's face, that testimony, it's worth all the craziness. So go for it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, both of you,
Thank
for
you,
being on
Bilna,
our
for
show.
having me.
Thank you.
Thank you
It's
so
fine.
much.
It's good fun having this conversation.
Yes.
Thank you so much to all our listeners for this listening to this, and I hope you got some golden nuggets out of it. Thank you so much again, and do not forget to like, subscribe, everything. See you.